Hello everyone. I'm going to answer the third question with knowledge of media law and ethics, which are based on the England media law. There are totally 8 topics to be discussed in this presentation, and the first one is the court reporting, in which I highlight the importance of court reporting restrictions. The reason why there are some court reporting restrictions is that some people would give pressure to witnesses, defendants, and official workers if the proceedings are published. Therefore, in order to keep the safety of everyone in the court, some court reporting restrictions are needed. 3 kinds of court reporting restrictions are displayed below. If the proceeding is under open justice, all the materials and the evidence should be argued in public. And it's also important to know that wider accurate reports of proceedings are allowed. If we encounter some court reports which are public excluded, first we need to get permission of coming into the court from the staff. After that, we need to consider whether it's right for the court to do so in terms of interest of justice. The last type of court reporting restrictions is quite serious when it has something to do with children. First of all, no details of children who are under 16 can be revealed in public, including their names, addresses, pictures, schools, and so forth. Meanwhile, nobody is allowed to report children under 16 involving sexual offenses. The significance of learning court reporting restrictions to journalists is to protect our security. Next, we'll discuss contempt, which is closely related to court. Let's look at the first case study to show that what can happen to us if we disobey court reporting guidelines. 2 jurors have each been jailed for 2 months for contempt of court after one posted a comment on Facebook and the other researched a case online. Kazim Davy, 21 of London, wrote a strongly worded Facebook message during the trial of a man for sex offenses. The High Court ruled him and Joseph Beard, 29, who was a juror on a separate fraud trial, interfered with the administration of justice. There have been 2 previous similar prosecutions of jurors. After the Attorney General was given permission to bring the cases earlier this year, Davy and Beard were summoned to the High Court, where 2 judges heard the evidence against them before deciding whether they are guilty. From the case, we can learn that Davy and Beard strongly offended the court and they were punished heavily for what they did. So, in order to keep our safety, we need to carefully understand court reporting guidelines and restrictions. Next, look at the definition of defamation briefly. The function of laws of defamation are launched to sue for damage to people's reputation. There are mainly two categories of defamation. One is called slander in a transitory form, which means it happens casually and temporarily. Since this kind of defamation is always spoken, the other one is called libel in a permanent form, since this kind of defamation is usually written and published. The fourth topic is privacy, and is closely followed by the public interest defense. It's important to differentiate them in case that we working as journalists may get ourselves into trouble easily. In 2000, the Human Rights Act 1998 came into force, incorporating into UK law and the European Convention on Human Rights, Article 8 of which guarantees the right to respect for privacy and family life, and the media must take good care of children, especially the children of celebrities. We can say that human rights help us to protect our private life from disturbing by others. Plus, the highest confidentiality is information about people's health. In addition, people's intimate relationship with others is private, including marriage, friendship, and so forth. Learning laws of privacy can make us as journalists think seriously about reporting. The right side is about the public interest. It means reasonable expectation of privacy of some well-known people is acceptable, and there is public importance to get familiar with their lives. When considering what is public interest, we need to remind ourselves what's the interest of our readers, what might make sense to them. Consistent justification is needed when we want to report some privacy about celebrities which is reckoned as public interest. Besides, we should have confidential information about the things we want to post in public. And then let's understand data protection via the case study 2. In 2002, the supermodel Naomi Campbell was awarded 3,500 pounds damages for breach of privacy and infringement of data protection rights over the Daily Mirror's publication of details about her therapy at Narcotics Anonymous, an award upheld by the House of Lords. But the judgment didn't treat the data protection element as a separate issue from the misuse of private information acquired by the newspaper, a photo of her leaving the therapy and some detail of it. The seventh topic is copyright. Its function is that it can protect creators' intellectual right. Two requirements should be met if we want our copyright to be protected. The first one is that our work must be original, and we need to have proper form of expression. It should be written and recorded so as to keep our work owned by ourselves. Next, there are some solutions to protect our copyright. We'd better add copyright notice in our works and then register our works. Finally, give supporting evidence to prove that they are produced by ourselves. The last topic is statutory obscenity. There are some steps which can help us to determine whether our articles may be obscene, and if all the answers to these questions are yes, then our works may be obscene. First, we need to consider the article taken as a whole, which means we shouldn't understand a particular sentence out of the article. After that, we need to ask ourselves who would be the readers of our works, whether they would be influenced by our works, and whether we are encourage our readers to do as we write. If all the answers of above are yes, our articles might be obscene. Here are the lists of references. Thank you for your listening.